This type of corn, the Hickory King, was grown primarily after the Civil War. Like I said before, it is a dent corn. And the corn, you can't probably see it from there, but it has a dent along its outer back, along its ridge. This particular variety has no dent at all. It is called a gourd seed because it looks like a gourd seed. And both of these varieties were common down south. Up north, there's a different kind of corn grown. Some people may think, well, corn is corn, but it's really not. Flint corn is a variety that is grown up north. It looks very much like the dent corn, except it's minus the dents, and sometimes the rows are much more irregular. But it is grown primarily up north, and it would not survive in the southern heat. And this particular variety, I don't know how it would do up north, but it would probably not fare as well as the Flint variety because they have a much shorter growing season. The germination, or the entire life of this from seed until you harvest it is about 120 days. Native Americans would have introduced corn into the white culture and the black culture. Corn, it's very important to stress to the visitors, corn is not something that the Europeans brought over. This was introduced, and this is probably this particular variety, the gourd seed corn, is probably very typical of what the first colonists encountered, especially in the southern regions like Georgia, Virginia, South Carolina. This is probably what the southern Indians were growing. I'm not sure exactly what the northern Indians were growing up around Massachusetts and all that, Plymouth area. I'm not sure, but this is very typical for southern varieties, and it would have been perpetuated for at least 200 years after settlement. So around the time of the Civil War, of course, the Indians were long gone from this area. They were moved out with the Trail of Tears, but they left behind one important aspect of their culture, corn. And this was perpetuated by the whites, but this form had changed by the Civil War when they went to an improved variety